Hey there, it's Linda, and I finished my 2023 Week in the Life album. This thing is chunky, but it's done. So let's go ahead and dive in. Okay, so this album is so thick. I'm always so over ambitious with what I want to include, and I did end up executing almost my entire plan, but it barely fits in this album. And I know in the future, I say this to myself every year, but I need to be less ambitious because this project takes so long. But the problem is I have so many photos I want to include. So I went super simple for my title page. I just printed out one of the digital pieces on vellum, and the chipboard piece, I printed that out as well and stamped the dates. And it's just a super simple little intro page. I almost wouldn't even include it, but I just wanted something to kind of title the album that didn't take up really any space at all. In years past, I've done like a family photo, but I actually did not get one this year. So it is just me and my daughter, and I did not get a good photo of the two of us. I got a couple of photos of us together, but they are not like, face forward photos. They are us like interacting and stuff. So it is what it is. I did get some good photos this week, but not like in the past. So I noticed that there's like a smudge on here. I noticed that with this album this year too, that I got a lot of photos that I like, but not a lot that I want to blow up, just a lot that I wanted to include. So I don't know if that's just things are changing around here or whatever it is, but that was just a reflection I had from this year. So for my dividers, I created these, and what I did was I used and I actually shared another video that has my setup for this album, so I will link that up at the eye. But I used paint and my silhouette. This is my handwriting on my iPad, and I used my silhouette to cut out of adhesive vinyl and created a stencil, and I just painted it in with acrylic paint and Mod Podge. I'm not sure that I love it. It didn't work out perfectly, but I think that it's fun, and I like that it has my handwriting. I like that it brings in a color, and it did turn out kind of fun. So I did do a color of the day. So Monday is red in rainbow order. I opened every day with a large photo, which I struggled to choose a large photo for the start of every day. So I think next year I will come up with a plan for that because in the past I have done, photos of people or specific things every day. But this year I didn't really take and I've always just kind of picked as I was putting my album together. But this year, as I was going through, I didn't really have like that one photo that jumped out at me every day that I wanted to blow up. I love this photo of my cat. I think it's hilarious. I'm not sure if it's what I really want with my socks and my laundry to be my opening photo of Week in the Life, but it is what it is. I took these numbers that were from an old December daily, and I stitched them on here with some washi from my stash. I used a lot of supplies from my stash this year to bring in the rainbow colors. So I start each day with my words. So Monday is I used a prompt every day. So I did Mondays are 4, and I did my journaling, and it goes on to 3 pages. This is the vinyl piece that cut out of the stencil to create this, and I just stuck it on here. I actually struggled a lot to stick the vinyl on these, but it ended up working out. And I do like the simple black and white of my journaling. I added some larger photos on my journaling pages, just depending on how it fit. And these are the vellum pieces from the mini kit. So I did not pick up the main kit this year, but I picked up the mini kit. I added some of these are also from the mini kit to my journaling as I needed, and then I created some like photo collages just of photos from the day that I liked. So I used a formula for every day, and I just kind of pulled in my photos as I felt like they fit in, and these ones were kind of some of the larger photos I got to include. So my formula this year did not include a lot of enlargements, and that worked out for me. On Monday, I worked from home. So you'll see in this album, it's almost entirely just me. I am a single mom of an 18-year-old. She was actually 17 during this week. She's a high school senior. And so she is here right here in the morning before school, but I don't see her a ton during the day, every day. So a lot of it is just me. I did my outfit photo of the day. And then on the back of that, every day I stamped and created this with a schedule of my schedule and my daughter's schedule to kind of see the comparison side by side. I put my daily steps and the weather. Then I used, one of the things that I really focused on collecting this week was the AM and PM. There were words, these large chipboard words in the kit. There were 8 different words, 2 of them being AM and PM, which I paired together. And I did a large blow up photo every day to represent one of those words. For Monday, I chose the AM and PM and showed me working in my planner, or I might be in my actual journal here rather than my planner, but in the morning and the evening, and just showing, how that's a big piece of my life. Then every day I created a pie chart. This was the first one I did, and I don't love how it turned out. I didn't use the correct adhesive at first, but it's fine. I'm happy with them overall. But basically what I did was I figured out kind of how I spent my time and created a pie chart. These are just estimates of how I spent my time during the day. So on Monday, I worked from home. I had some social time. I had chores, my bedtime routine, my morning routine, relaxing, watching TV, working on content creation, and time with my daughter. So that was just kind of something that I really like to see over the course of the week. I used 1 divided page protector per day. And so right here was that divided page protector. It's the 4 pockets. I included a transparency that was from the 2022 release of Week in the Life. And it was just the piece I had left over with these chipboard numbers from the December daily collection, I believe was 2022, which match really well with these letters, or these words. And I loved the coordination. And because the dates this week were 24 through 30, I only do December daily through the 25th. So the 26 through 30, I'm never going to use anyways. So it was great to kind of use those up. And 24 and 25, there's usually extra supplies anyways. So it was totally fine to use them. I used these 1 word for today cards that were also from 2022, but I recolored some of them and made in the digital and printed them as 3x4 cards and stamped out a word from the day. Monday was a super relaxed, good day, but this actually ended up being kind of not the best week, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. That's how Week in the Life is. It's whatever happened that week. I also didn't take as many photos this year as I have in years past, which was fine. I'm still happy with what I got, and I kind of like the more relaxed approach to documenting. I created these cards every day using a stamp from an older Week in the Life kit or release, and then I pulled out some chipboard pieces from my stash just to bring in the color of the day again. Every day I told a story about my relationship to my daughter in kind of a journaling to her format, as opposed to my journaling at the beginning, which is kind of just an overview of how my day went. And I included either a photo of us or something representative of the story I'm telling. And I really wanted to kind of focus on our relationship this year, since she is going to be moving out and going to college this August. So this will be the last year with her living at home. So I thought that would be fun to focus on. Then I created an ephemera collage on the back of that using these ephemera printouts that were from I think they were the prep day this year, the 2023 prep day. And I love how these came out. The Monday one actually isn't one of my favorites, but I absolutely love them during the course of the week. The next page I did, which is super fun, was I used these were a digital from this year, and the original was like a 4x4 pocket, but I shrank them down and made these little pockets. And in them, I added screenshots or different things. And my original plan had been to add kind of journaling on the back, but that was just way too ambitious for everything I had going on and just trying to get this album done. But I think they're super cute, even though there's nothing on the back. And I like that, like just the interactiveness. and I stamped ing words for everything that happens for that day. So every day I did my planner page, which is in my Hobonichi cousin. So I just took a picture of the planner and I cropped that to fit in here and did planning. But then I also did some other things. So like here's some screenshots. And then anytime I did a screenshot, I used the layer template that was designed by Lisa Freckle Pickle on Instagram, and for the Ali Edwards shop. And I just, even though it was a layer template of like a bunch of phones, I just used the one phone to create this layer template and then print it out so that I have just, it looks like it's in a phone. And then I use the front pages app to get the front page of the paper some days. Then I end each day with a pattern paper for my stash that is the color of the day, so red for Monday, with a collection of photos that I made look like mini Polaroids on my computer. I added a rolling date stamp on the middle one and some word phrase strips from my stash that were either white or the color of the day. I also tried to collect photos that were the color of the day. I was more successful some days than others. So I included those on this page as I collected them, or as I wanted to include them. I did actually end up having a lot of photos that I wasn't able to include. It was kind of hard to narrow them down, but I'm happy with the amount of photos that I got into the album. In the future, I think I could see myself doing less of these like extra things that are not photo based and doing more photos, maybe next year. So now moving into Tuesday, which is orange. I just had a photo of my yard with my tulips that were blooming, which is kind of strange for April and was kind of funny because we usually do Week in the Life. I always do it along with the community. Whatever week Ali chooses, I do it no matter what's going on in my life. And it's usually in May, and May is when tulips typically bloom where I live in upstate New York. But for whatever reason, we had this weird heat wave in April. Wow, I keep misspeaking, sorry. In April, that was totally unexpected, and the tulips bloomed early. So they were blooming during this week, and by the week we normally do Week in the Life, they were dead, which was kind of funny. For Tuesday, I did Tuesday was, and then I had a sentence for everything. So Tuesday was long, Tuesday was rushed, Tuesday was for work, and I journaled about all the different things that were happening for that day. Again, my journaling goes on to this page here with a photo. And then for the back, I didn't have any additional photos. So I included these photos. This was one my daughter took at school of her work, like her school book and her planner, her snack and everything. And then I had a photo of myself at my desk at work, and I kind of liked them next to each other. I took a photo of my outfit for the day and then included, again, my steps, the weather, and then our schedules. And you could see I had a very busy schedule. So what I did was the gray represents like my work schedule and then my daughter's school and then her work. And that's it, just like when we were at those places. And then I put these little things for specific meetings. I had a dentist appointment, I went to the movies, and she had a doctor's appointment. So that's kind of what those all mean. For this day, I used the word for sunset. So I really, really struggled to capture a good sunset and a good sunrise, which is really frustrating because we do often have beautiful sunsets and sunrises. April's just not the time of the year for them. So I did the best I could. This one is through my dirty windshield, but I happened to see sunset as I was going to the movies, and I was not driving. And I just captured it thinking, oh, I'm probably not going to use this as my sunset, but just to have it. And it was the only sunset I captured. So it is what it is. I did have a very simple schedule on Tuesday because I worked a ton. And then I went to the dentist. I had my commute in here, my morning routine, and then some social time. On Tuesdays, my daughter goes to her dad's house, so I didn't have her with me, but she is included. She sent me some photos. Here's her. She had her pediatrician appointment, my office. I went to the dentist, and then my cat. And then my story for Tuesday about my relationship with my daughter was about her going to her dad's house. And I included the layered template that Lisa created here with a few of the different ones. The actual layered template is a 10x8. And I included some screenshots of my conversation with my daughter from this day to kind of show like how we stay in touch when we're not together. Then on Tuesday, again, I have my ephemera page. I had a lot of things this day with a movie ticket, I went out for tacos, so I have a sticker from there and their takeout menu. I changed my contacts, and I had an ice cream bar. So I have all of that kind of just together in here. And then I also, while I was collecting the ephemera during the week, I put sticky notes on bags for it, and then I just added those on here and some colored washi with the color of the day. For Tuesday, again, I have my planner. I have connecting with my Marco Polo chat. Cleaning was for my dental cleaning, and I screenshotted their reminder text about my appointment. And then cheering for my daughter, she sent me a screenshot of her text with her coworkers. Someone had said that she had done a really great job the day before, and she wanted to share that with me, so I included it in my album. Then finishing off Tuesday with a collection of photos, I also included some photos that were kind of orange colored to my cat, my daughter's dinner, the tiles on the floor in the movie theater, my face wash, just like little details of life that also were orange. Moving into Wednesday. So Wednesday was yellow. And so I have my yellow title here. And I think one of the things that I don't love about these titles is that it's not perfectly opaque. You can kind of see like the brush strokes a little bit, even though I did like 3 or 4 layers of paint. But I do still love the concept. I just wish that it was like professionally printed on there. So Wednesday, I was again in the office, and this is a photo at my office with the trees blooming because it's springtime. Again, like I said, I didn't have great photos to blow up, but I'm still happy with the ones I chose. This got a little wonky trying to stick this on here, but I think it worked out. So Wednesday, I did the journaling real life right now. And then I have a photo of me in the office at the copier. I haven't taken a lot of photos of myself in the office usually, but for whatever reason, the office was so quiet. And I think that's like since the pandemic, we work in the office 50% of the time. So it's just really quiet in the office on Wednesday morning. So it was just a good time for me to take some photos. No one else was there. And then my daughter went on a field trip, and she sent me a photo with her friend on the bus. And then I have a few additional photos here after my journaling. My journaling for Wednesday ended up being really long. That's something that was different this year. In the past, I tend to have more journaling on Monday and less as the week goes on, but for whatever reason, that it didn't work out that way. It just kind of depended on what the prompt was and how easy it was to kind of fit story into it, because I do have a lot of story in here in other places besides just my main journaling, which I don't always do. So I think some days I just journaled less and other days I journaled more, just depending on how that prompt worked out. Again, my outfit of the day, my schedule, my daughter's schedule, and my steps in the weather. And then this one was my favorite of the day, night, morning, whatever these different words, was the night photo, because this is my house at night, which is a photo I've never really been prompted to take. But I took the trash out late at night, and I had the lights on in the house, and it had been raining, so it was like super shiny with the reflection. And I also had wanted to capture a photo of the cars in the garage with my car and my daughter's car, which is something that is semi-new because she hasn't had her car for that long and she's going to move out. I also haven't had this car for that long. So I just wanted to capture that as a detail, and it just kind of worked out that it was also in this night photo that I really loved. Then my schedule, I worked really long hours on Wednesday, which that's how my work is just very different in terms of the length of time I work every day. So you can see that my day was kind of overtaken by work. I had my morning routine, my commute. I spent some time in summer when I got home, and then I did chores and to bed. That was basically my entire day. The day was very hard. This week was a really rough week, primarily with some struggles with my daughter. And she's just at that age where she's like getting ready to be an adult and kind of learning the realities of budgeting and that kind of stuff. And it's rough. There's a lot of good, but this was a particularly rough week, which kind of sucks because this is not really representative of how life is right now overall. But I did kind of reflect on that in this album too. I have a photo of the view from my desk at work. And then my dinner, I just had a quick dinner by myself. Then here's my journaling for the day. My daughter and I just spending some time chatting in the kitchen. And then here's my ephemera from the day. So one thing that I included on here that I have never done before in Week in Life was I included my check stub. And I think that that was super fun because I get to remember like how much I paid in taxes, how much I made, and all of that, which I think is super fun for there. And also I don't mind sharing this on the internet because I'm a government employee and that is all public information. You can just find it online anyways because I work for the state of New York and they do that. So, and I don't really care anyways. But yeah, so I have here my things for the day. Snapping. So I have a Snapchat my daughter sent me. I just screenshotted it and included it in here. Again, the newspaper. So I did the New York Times. And these are so small, you can barely read you can maybe read like the headlines. But I think that it's just kind of fun to kind of look back on what it looked like. I have my planner for the day and then photographing. So I didn't really have another screenshot, but I had a lot of pictures I wanted to include. So I included this one of my office here. And it's kind of similar to the one that I used actually for my opening page for the day. But I just liked the idea of just focusing on my photographs for the day as something that was kind of how I was using my phone a lot during Week in Life. Then my final photo for the day was bringing in some yellow and some smaller photos and some smaller details of the day, like the little cookie I had, taking out the trash, working, my medication and contacts, like the dishes that were in the sink because I didn't even get to them the night before, which is so not normal for me. Just a lot of little details, which I just like to see those little things. Oh, and like this is all the traffic on the way home from work because right now they're doing construction and the traffic is awful. And I like capturing things like that are like snippets of right now. That's not going to always be that way. Here's Thursday, which is green. So I move my way through the rainbow. I have this photo of my cat looking annoyed that I woke him up to take his photo. And then here for Thursday, I did most days. On Thursday, I'm back to working from home. So I have me here at my desk. My desk at home, so I can't take photos of anything related to my job because it is very, very confidential. So this is just my home screen. So it looks like I'm just staring at a home screen, not doing anything. It never looks like that. I always have my email up, but I can't take that picture. So I just minimized it to take a picture of me with my computer there. And this is me in my home office, but my work computer is kind of in through a portal on my home computer. Then I have a photo of me doing yoga here after work. And then here's my outfit for the day when I telecommute. It's obviously very different from when I go into the office. Here's my steps, my schedule, my weather. And then for my photo, this one was day. And I just took this photo from my mailbox, which is a photo I've never taken this like angle before. I always take photos by the mailbox during Week in the Life. I took the photos like inside the mailbox, but I didn't take this photo before where it was like this direction because this used to not be a house. I'm in a new development. My house was kind of one of the earlier ones that was built in my development. So I've seen all these other houses kind of go up over time. And this is the final house that's going in. And actually right now, this house, the siding is all completely done. So it won't look like that. And pretty soon that family will move in there and the construction people will move out of the neighborhood and it will just be an existing neighborhood. So I liked being able to capture kind of how that looked at this point in time. So I really love the push in Week in Life to take photos of my life from different angles that I wouldn't normally take. Here I'm back to working from home. I actually crafted a little bit this day. So that was another thing that was really odd this week. I just did not craft at all. I did Pilates. I had some social time and my morning routine, my bedtime routine. So I did some more Pilates photos, checking on my flowers. Thursday was a really good day, so I put that, my dinner, and then some time with my planner at the end of the day. For Thursday, I have another photo of me and my daughter checking in the kitchen. For whatever reason, all of the photos I got of us talking to each other were in my kitchen, which is strange. We do talk a lot in the kitchen, but we also talk in her bedroom or my craft room a lot. And I think I got a photo of her in the craft room, but not a photo of the two of us together. But for whatever reason, I got a lot of photos of us talking in the kitchen this week because that happened a lot this week. And here I'm just kind of journaling about our schedules and how they kind of overlap with each other. For Thursday, I tried to bring some of the ephemera that was green from the week onto this day. Some of it was more just like that was the day, like I did my paycheck stub on Wednesday because that's the day I get paid. And like this was my passport. I had renewed my passport and that was delivered to me. So I got that on this day, a tag from a new shirt that I wore that day. So some of the stuff was relevant to the day. And this was like my lunch, but like the Thin Mints, I was snacking on those all week. So I just put it on Thursday because that was the green day. Then here I have texting happening. So this is our local newspaper. I'm paying my credit card statement, and that is really high. That is not normally how high my credit card statement is. I bought my daughter a MacBook for her birthday. And then my planner for the day. Oh, kind of sticking. And then here are my photos. And I had a lot of luck taking some green photos. I got my coffee mug, the headache medicine. I had a headache in the morning, my grass out in my backyard. And then I took just a few photos that I hadn't really thought to take before. My cat has a lot of toys he takes out. So I took photos of those just like where they laid on the ground before picking them up. And then a photo of me pulling the trash can in. Okay, then Friday, blue. So Friday, I stopped to get some croissants for breakfast, and I used this as my large opening photo. It was early in the morning, but I really liked this as just kind of like the start of the day because I love croissants, and they are kind of just like my thing right now, my go-to thing. The croissants from our local grocery store, and so I liked seeing, you know, the expiration date on there and the price, which is just, it's fun to have that information. My Friday journaling is I want to remember. And that one, again, I just did, it was a harder prompt, so I didn't have as much to say. So I only went to this page. I included some photos here of me, my daughter, me reading my book in bed. I always struggle to take evening photos during week in the life. For whatever reason, I kind of drop off on taking photos by like dinner time. Probably because I'm a morning person, I get tired. So I really just made it a point to take a photo of myself reading one day. So Friday, as I'm kind of getting towards the end of the week, I'm thinking, what photos am I missing? So that's why I went ahead and got that. And then again, here's me washing my face at the end of the day, going for a walk at work. I was in the office again on Friday. So here's my outfit going to work. Here's my steps, my schedule, my daughter's schedule. We just had work and school. I worked a really short day on Friday. I did get up and take a picture of the sunrise, but like, this is not a great sunrise. But I wanted to stick with using these in the album, and I liked seeing my front yard with my tulips, which are all dead now and gone. But sunrises are gorgeous here in other times of the year. Spring is just not one of them. They're just too early. Even though I do get up super, super early. So I get up at like 5 a.m. before sunrise, but they just don't look so great. I don't know. So here I didn't work that much, but instead I spent a lot of time with my daughter. I had some social time. I went shopping. I had some relaxing, my morning routine. I did some chores, my bedtime routine. I had a really long week. So I had an early day from the office and went to hang out with a friend and do some shopping and stuff. And it was really, really nice. I said exhausting because I was just so tired after this week. And with a lot of the struggles with my daughter was kind of coming to a head this day. So that was just a lot going on. So I taken a little break. I went shopping. Here's my dinner. My cat had like a hilarious face. I don't know what. I think he was like upset that I saw him like getting near my food. And then here, for whatever reason, he was like trying to climb in the dishwasher. He doesn't normally do that, but whatever it is. So then I journaled about some struggles with parenting here. And I was a little bit more vague because this is something that I know she will read. People on the internet, you might be pausing this to read it. And, you know, I don't really need to remember all of the hard details. I just want to remember that it was hard. And then a picture of her Takis because I didn't get a photo of us together this day. And that was one of the things that we struggle with a lot is her eating a lot of junk food. And then here is my ephemera for the day. I went shopping at Pink, so I got my shopping bag. I have a Band-Aid because I cut my finger really badly on Thursday. So I had that, my meal plan for the week, which I do these sticky notes. So instead of throwing it out at the end of the week, I stuck it in here. And then of course my sticky note for the day. Here's my pocket things. So here, monitoring my daughter's meal account at school, which she had racked up a debt. My planner, scrolling. I just took a screenshot of my home screen, which is something that I like to include in Week in Life because that does change over time and I won't always have it looking that way. And then there was a newspaper and I just forgot to print it. So I will print it the next time that I print photos. And then ending the day here with some photos. For whatever reason, blue, I struggled to find photos for, which is surprising, but it is what it is. Then moving into the weekend. So Saturday was purple. So here I have my Saturday, and then I have my tulips in my yard. It was a rainy day on Saturday, and then it kind of cleared up later in the day, and I took this photo of the raindrops on the tulips in my yard, which I love. I think that's one of my favorite photos that I took this week. Then for Saturday journaling, I did time, which I think was super fun to kind of just do journaling through the day about what happened in each time. It took more time to do this because I had to do it as the day went on or make note of the time while I was doing things. Sometimes what I did was if I knew certain things were like, so I went and got my hair done. I knew what time my appointment was. I wanted to remember what time I ended my appointment. I took a photo at that time because the photos have timestamps. So even if it wasn't a photo I wanted to use, I knew that that was a photo that was signifying the end of my hair appointment to get that time. I had to go to the Verizon store because I had recently bought a new iPhone. I was having issues with it. I had so many issues at the Verizon store. I was there for 2 hours or an hour and a half. And for a period of time, I had 3 iPhones as they were like trying to get me a working iPhone. So that was something. So you could see I have my phone like on multiple phones here. And then I borrowed someone's phone from the store to take a picture of all of my iPhones because I thought that was hilarious and I wanted it for my Week in Life. Then again, more journaling as I finished out the day. Here's me cooking dinner, my outfit for the day on Saturday, my schedule. Neither of us had work or school, so it was kind of blank there, but I did have some appointments. And then me in the evening, just a couple of photos from my evening. I had an ice cream bar and watched some TV, and then brushing my teeth while my cat drinks from the faucet. And that's a photo I take pretty much every week in the life is my cat drinking from the faucet because it's one of his favorite things to do and he does it multiple times per day. But I'd never gotten this exact angle, which was kind of fun. My schedule here looks different without the red from work, but I had a lot more different things going on. Appointments, I put my Apple appointment as a separate color than my hair appointment, which I did the hair appointment and dentist appointment, like similar appointments, but I wanted that one to be a little different because it was kind of like shopping. I don't know. Just to kind of break it up and kind of have a representation of what percentage of my day was spent in the Apple store. Here's, my morning as I'm planning out my day after I got my hair done. The day was super long, especially that Apple appointment. So I stamped that there. And then my cat, this was hilarious. I love this. So here's the bags of me collecting all the ephemera from the week. And you'll see here, one of the things I collected on Saturday was the bag of cat food because I used up the bag of cat food. And I saved it. I think I just cut the front off and I stuck it in this bag. Well, he could smell it. And he was like, why is my cat food in here? And he kept trying to steal this bag because he wanted the cat food. And it was just hilarious to see him carrying it off. And I would bring it back and be like, no, there's no cat food. And he just kept stealing it. It was very, very cute. So I wanted to capture that photo, and I would probably tell that as a totally separate story outside of Week in the Life, but I love the photo here. And then I made Chinese food for dinner. And then for my story, for my relationship story, I actually included a photo from my dinner that I was cooking because I didn't have a good photo of my daughter and me for this story. And I had a lot of extra photos without space to include them. So I thought this was a good place to include this photo, which was of me cooking dinner. So I cooked a fairly elaborate dinner, which is something I like to do when I'm very stressed and having a hard time because it definitely helps calm me. And I journaled about how cooking, how much I love cooking and how I want to pass that on to my daughter, and how cooking for people is kind of like one of my love languages, and how I cooked her this dinner that we both love so much. That is like it's a pan-fried noodles it's a Chinese food meal. And then, so I saved the package of the noodles, the cat food package that my cat would probably try to steal from this album at some point, and a tag from some new underwear from when I went to the mall. And then here, my pockets. I again have snapping, so another Snapchat from my daughter. I'm texting, some texts with my daughter. She went to a sleepover, so she was texting me from her sleepover for movie recommendations. I did dyeing my hair, a selfie I took, and then planning, of course. And I liked that I could use this as an opportunity to include additional photos if I had more photos to include rather than screenshots. So that worked out well. The ing words you can pretty much come up with for anything. And then here, wrapping up Saturday with some purple photos and just other photos from the day. Then finally Sunday, I did not get a good photo of me and my daughter, but I remembered at the end of the week, at the very end of the day on Sunday, that I didn't get like a good face forward, like smiling photo. So I got one of me and my cat. My daughter was already at her sleepover, so I couldn't get one of us. And I considered kind of faking it and taking one on Monday, but I was pretty much just done. And Monday wasn't really a great day for her. I didn't like have my hair done and stuff. We didn't see each other a lot. So it was just kind of not meant to be in this album. But I do have this one blown up. I like that it has the pink, which is my color of the day for Sunday. And my shirt says Sunday Vibes. And then here my Sunday journaling. I am thankful for to kind of wrap out the week. And I ended up with I am thankful for a week in the life well lived. And then some additional photos from the day. And then I didn't have more journaling to go on this side, so I had some photos here. I really liked this photo of my daughter. It's one of my favorites of her from the week. Even though she's like in her pajamas and stuff, she just looks so happy. She came back from her sleepover and wanted to show me her friend crocheted a hat for her stuffed hamster. And I don't know, I just thought it was a cute photo. And then here I'm working on editing a YouTube video. So I took that photo, and I like that it's like the same angle throughout the week from when I am telecommuting, and just kind of seeing that comparison. My outfit of the day, my schedule. There was nothing on the schedule except my daughter and I went to a movie together, which finally our schedules had the same thing on it, which was great. The weather and my steps. And then my last AM PM photo was the morning here. And so I just did a photo of my coffee and my croissant for the day. And these words were made to go in the 10x8 album, but I got them all to fit. This one was the largest one. I did have to kind of crop it down a bit on the M and the G. I think I should have shifted it maybe that way a little bit more, so less of the G was cut off, but you can totally read it, and it fits on the 6x8 perfectly fine. And then here is my breakdown of the day. So I have content creation that I worked on, a lot of like editing and film editing and stuff for this week. I didn't do a lot of scrapbooking. I actually didn't do any scrapbooking this week, which is very not normal for me, but I did do a lot of like filming and editing and that kind of stuff. So that was a lot of my day. I did some shopping. My morning routine was much longer on the weekend. Time with my daughter. We went to the movies and spent some time chatting. Did a lot of chores, some relaxing, and a long bedtime routine. So my bedtime routine includes my reading time in bed. So I did a lot more of that on the weekend. Sunday was a rough day. It was very turbulent. There were a lot of good times and a lot of bad times. And it was just a lot. It was a lot to end a week. I have another photo of my tulips. I went to the grocery store, which was like kind of a stressful grocery trip and not normal. So I didn't get my usual photos in the grocery store that I like to take during Week in the Life, but I did take a photo of the groceries in my cart, a photo of my lunch, my cat in his little diner, and then my story for Sunday of my relationship was we went to the movies. So I took a photo of our feet in the movie theater and just kind of journaled about the types of activities my daughter and I do together these days. And then ending off my ephemera page here, I've been snacking on Oreos a lot, so I included the packaging here, which has some pink on it. Another Victoria's Secret tag, the packaging of my seltzer that I like to drink, some more of the cat food bag because he eats cat food every day, and I just wanted to kind of mix it in, and then my movie ticket for my movie with my daughter. Here I have watching for the movies. I screenshotted the show times when I searched that. I made an Amazon purchase, so I screenshotted that. My planner here, and then I did another monitoring because I monitor my daughter's bank account, and I was watching that she had some expenses on Sunday, so I was watching her bank account for her and wanted to screenshot just kind of an idea of how much money she keeps in her checking account, because I think that will be fun for her to look back on in the future. And then here, the end of the day, my photos to end out the day. And then I did something that I've never done in Week in Life before. I did a closing page. I did some journaling about things that are not typical about this week. Just journaling about it being a rough week, things about parts of my life that I'm leaving out of my album because I'm not really ready to share them, and that kind of stuff. And then I ended it with this photo of my cat sitting at the top of the stairs that says, "The best is yet to come." I love this poster. It's from Elise Joy on Instagram, and Elise Blaha Cripe is her name. And I just liked it to kind of end out the album. And I just kept it super simple. I had considered putting a tab or some embellishments, but by the time I had this in here, this album is bursting at the seams. It is barely closing, but I got it all in here. And you know, that's I'm happy. I'm happy it's done. And there's a lot of stories in this album. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know down below if you have any questions. And if you did want to see my process for how this video came together, I am sharing that over in the Allie Edwards Storytelling for Week in Life classroom. I have a lesson coming out in there. If it's not available yet, it will be soon. And so you can go over and check out some additional video content of my process as I put this album together and got it all completed about, let's see, it is May 21st. So a couple weeks after the Week in the Life documenting week. And I'm just thrilled to have this done, another album completed and put away on my shelf. So thank you guys so much for being here. Like I said, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below and I will get to you and respond. I appreciate so much everyone for being here. And if you hope to see some additional videos from me, please subscribe. I appreciate all your support for my channel, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Thanks. Bye.